Welcome to the PC tab tutorial. You'll come on over here, give your character an alias and pronouns. I strongly recommend you update the tab name to match that so it's easier for you to find. When you pick your playbook, which you'll notice all of the standard playbooks from Original Blades, the Stranger from Deep Cuts, and the semi-canon Aruvian playbooks are here, and it's relatively straightforward to add more playbooks. My table loves playing with the veteran, so we have that one already loaded in here for you. You can put in all of your key roleplay elements, spot for scars, and backstory, but the real magic is here's your stress bar. Grab what you need from the list. If you take special abilities that increase your stress, just follow these instructions to give you a larger stress bar. You can track your edge, trauma conditions as you add. There are some special abilities that let you add trauma, which means these trauma boxes stop being gray, which reminds me, when you see gray, that means don't touch it, don't edit it. If you see white, that means that's a spot you can edit. This is not an app, it's a Google Sheet, so it's pretty impressive for Google Sheet, but it does have its limitations. Your harm is tracked over here. If you type in anything in the level 1 harm, you'll see this pink color come in. It'll also show up on your nameplate to make it easier for you, and the Game Master shows up on the screen for the Game Master as well to help remind you all to invoke harm if you want to get the XP for it. And you'll notice that the colors get progressively more intense as you take on more and more level harms. You could type in words here, obviously, instead of the text I'm putting, the numbers. There's a recovery clock right here as well, so you can track how well you're doing on healing. You have clocks to track your XP. All of your specific XP triggers are stored here. So as a cutter, we care about violence and coercion. That'll update based on whichever one you pick. Your special abilities, your specific items will all update based on the playbook that you select. Speaking of items, if you go for a discrete load, you'll notice that the number of options here decreases. When you go to conspicuous load, then you're able to access the standard heavy items as well. There was a spot here to track consumables, bandolier items, and recipes, because I found my cruise, we needed some place on a cruise sheet to track those things. Your default special abilities are right here. Select them. You'll notice they turn green. To remind you, if you need one of the veteran special abilities, just click this arrow, and all of the special abilities of all the playbooks appear. If you know that the name involves a word like steel, you can start typing it, and then that will make your life a lot easier for when you're searching. All of the GM's public clocks are right here and displayed so you can easily find them. You can use the integrated die roller if you want. Just tell it the number of dice you want to roll, hit the roll button. The first time you hit it, there'll be a delay. It will ask you to give permission for the script to run. Then you'll probably have to click the roll button again, but then once you do, it'll do the right thing. In the case of 0 dice, it'll roll the dice here. That's what this row is. And then larger, it shows you the result. So in this case, we have a 2. That's not as exciting. But over here, if we want to roll 5 dice for a great roll, we can see if we get something a little bit better. And sure enough, we got a 6 result. If you had multiple 6s, it would show you 2 6s or even up to 3 6s. Off over here to the right, the supply clocks from the crew sheet are mirrored here, and you have a spot where you can track your own clocks. You also have an area for long-term projects, and we have some handy tips and reminders off here to the right. And the only other thing I want you to make sure you know is that if you scroll all the way to the right here, there's a bunch of other tabs your Game Master might point out to you, but what I think you might find particularly helpful is a roll log. Every time someone hits the roll button, the tab that it was clicked on is recorded, the dice and the result are all right there. And then lastly is the cheat sheet. So these are all the key rules of the game boiled down into cheat sheet format, and these are the deep cut rules. Everything from crew and factions to how you run a score. And I have found that being able to come in and just open up the section I need quickly and have them collapse so it's easier to find. It's essentially a table of contents that lets you expand. So I hope you find that helpful, and I look forward to hearing your feedback.